Okay, so I have crawled out from the depths of my hiatus. Was it ushered by the Hazbin Hotel Season 2 non-trailer? Maybe, maybe not. Hazbin Hotel Redesign, specifically Season 2 edition. The only reason it's Season 2 edition is because I figure we're going to be getting a lot more of these characters in Season 2. Really, I started off with these characters specifically because it started off with me wanting to redesign Abel, but then I figured, why not redesign Emily if I'm going to redesign Abel? And if I'm redesigning Emily, then I might as well finish redesigning Sarah. So now we have a video. Fair warning, these designs are different, and I'm basically rewriting my own version of Hazbin Hotel. So really, I'm just using the original designs as a jumping off point where I can just change everything about them. Okay? Okay. All right, so first things first, let's get to the one that I'm most excited about. Abel, yay, son of Adam, and nice guy, I assume. I don't really know. Season 2 hasn't come out yet. So my idea for Abel was that one of his main traits is that he's suspiciously a lot like Charlie, in which he's just nice and optimistic and very kind and helpful. Really just the ideal angel that everyone thinks that someone should be, right? Obviously, I had to make him look like he was related to my Adam design, which I did not make a video about, but you see him, he's there. And I gave him my best replica of the hair that Hank #1 has from Date Everything. Okay, anyways. As for his character, like I said, he's very kind, he's very noble, very angelic in the most thought about way, I guess. He is a shepherd through and through, even after death, which is why I put him in this kind of shepherd's outfit. My idea for his like normal outfit was just this picture that I found when like looking up Cain and Abel, because I figured I want them to still look like they could be, Abel from the Bible. Like I didn't want to just put him in like, I don't know, skinny jeans and a hoodie or whatever. Like it's Abel. Let's make him a little more, I don't know, let's give him a little more pizzazz. And by pizzazz, I mean putting him in this weird toga thing, but whatever. He has gold clasps or bracelets on his wrists, and I also gave him sandals because, of course, because this is heaven and we're different. And the golden eyes, I was going back and forth on his eye color because on one hand, I was like, what if he could look normal? But then also I was like, what if he's an angel? But then I figured I gave Adam golden eyes. We're just going to give everyone here who has eyes golden eyes. So there you go. As for his exorcism outfit, because I plan on making Abel the head of the exorcist after Adam dies, because he still dies in my rewrite. It is very similar to his father's because they basically just gave him his father's outfit and was like, go down there. I wanted to make it a little different for him to still have his own thing, but basically it's still just the same as Adam's outfit, just without the huge cross, because I feel like both me and Abel would agree that was just a bit much. But yeah, there's not much of a change to it except for, this swanky belt I added for reasons. I don't know. Look at this knight's outfit. Okay? And tell me why they have a belt. That's why Abel has a belt. I don't know clothes. All right, so there. Still, of course, has the clasps or bracelets. I don't know why I keep calling them clasps. And yeah, he's a bit worried now because he actually does not want to do anything that revolves around murder. I would figure the guy who is the victim of the very first murder to have ever happened in the history of humanity, he would not be very fond of murder. And yeah, sure, his father was the main guy being like, hey, demons don't have rights, they don't deserve rights, they should just be murdered like the rest. But I feel like Abel would be like, no, though. They might be demons, they might be sinners, but I mean, that's still people we're killing. That's really all I have for Abel. I just know I wanted to change him because that thing. So this is my new Abel. He's my baby. Guys, be nice to him or he will cry. And I won't comfort him because I have other things to tend to. All right, thanks. Moving on. Now moving on to Emily. I just think she didn't reach her full potential for a design. You know, like, I don't know. Like I said, I get how some people might like her, but honestly, I just think it's very lackluster, especially her like true form. Like, that is a bald egg. I don't understand why she did what she did, but I will say I do like the fact that it was purple instead of blue. For some reason, my brain just could not wrap my head around the fact that she was more of a purple tint instead of a blue. So I will say that there's my compliment. And I use that for inspiration for this design. Now, listen, right? I figure I want the angels to be very distinct from the human souls, as in they look alien. I've always thought angels looking non-human were really cool and a really fun way to exercise design. Now, am I good at drawing and coming up with alien designs? No. So I'm not going to fault anyone for not making those. But I tried my best. Really, I just thought, like, what is the, definition of, like, purity? How would I think, like, happiness and joy and just bubbliness embodied, but also not necessarily human look? And I really like how when she's turned around, her wings, I like how they come out of her hair, so I wanted to keep her hair big so that we could still have like her wings kind of molding into her hair, but not really. So I wanted it to be big, puffy, and cool. Long story short, she looks like a cloud, and that wasn't really my like vision. It just kind of happened, but then I was like, I mean, she's supposed to be an angel, the embodiment of purity. She's happy and nice and bubbly and cloud-like. So, I mean, she looks soft. I like her. I think she's nice. I know she's supposed to have 3 sets of wings. The wings on her head count. And that is all I'm going to say. So I just really made her hair poofier. I just made her poofier, and I put her in like drapes or like not really celestial robes, but I tried to make them like celestial robes. And I also gave her those golden bracelets that we love so much on angels, because I don't know, I feel like they need some sort of unity. I feel like heaven needs a kind of unity. You know how like everyone in hell is red? Maybe everyone in heaven can have bracelets. Yeah, that is Emily right there. I think she looks nice. I think she's very inviting. She still has her third eye. The one on her chest, let's just say it's gone. I don't know. Yeah. Now on to Sarah, aka Seraphim. I cannot lie. I think just naming one of your angels Seraphim is not good. But that is my opinion. On one hand, it's like, oh, that's cute. But on the other hand, it's like, no. I'm not really going to come up with a new name right now. That's just my thoughts on it. If you think it's nice, that's cool, because I can understand why. But me personally, I don't know who told me this. I don't know where I found it out. And you know what? I'm not going to back it up with a source. But I feel like I remember somebody saying that Sarah's hair was supposed to represent locks. And as someone who has locks, no. So I decided to try to actually make her hair look like locks and give her butterfly locks. So that's what I did. And for further reference, this was my reference. It is on Pinterest. I don't have butterfly locks, so I couldn't reference my own hair, but you know, I wanted her hair to still be big and poofy and, out there, but I wanted them to, at least in my opinion, look like actual locks instead of just huge curls. So, yeah, there we are. I gave her a darker color than Emily to show that, like, yo, she's older. Because my version of Sarah, I believe Sarah should be older than, well, obviously she would be older than the beginning of time. She is the first. She will continue to be the first. And there's nothing, she has seen everything. Oh my God. Didn't mean to quote Five Nights at Freddy's, but there that is. I believe Sarah to have a sort of Mother Earth vibe. Very I created everything, I have a hand in all of this life type of vibe. She is not the big God, but she's pretty close to it. And so I wanted to show that in her design. I wanted her to be bigger than the rest of them, and I'll put up a height chart here to show the difference. She's really larger than life. In my mind, if I was gonna like actually animate her and like put this in a show, then it would be very reminiscent to how we first met White Diamond in Steven Universe, where it's just like bigger than anything we've ever imagined type of thing, right? Because I feel like Sarah should have had that type of presence. I get that she was supposed to be, kind and inviting, but also I feel like this is the head angel. This is the angel literally named Seraphim. She is of the highest order and she has the final say on everything. I feel like she should have a bigger presence than what she did in the show. So yeah, I gave her, she's a bit mysterious because her eyes are hidden. And I know that I said that Emily's wings on her head counts, but what if Sarah's didn't? I don't know. What if she had 4 sets of wings? This is a show. We can do whatever we want. Though, that feeling for all those that want to be character designers where it's a toss of the hat of like, you want things to make sense and be consistent, but it's also like, I want to have fun and do what I want. That's all I really have to say. I gave her the same like toga, like celestial robes. Figure all of the angels have those type of clothes. At least all of the like natural born angels, not the people, the humans that went to hell. All of the actual angels wear those types of clothes. And as for her halo, I figure I kind of wanted it to slightly resemble a solar system, kind of like it's orbs and it's glowing, and in my head they're constantly rotating, but it's a halo, but it's the galaxy, it's the solar system because she had it. I'm not gonna go into everything now. I'm still making everything. I just really wanted to come out with some designs because I've been suffering from art block and also a creative block and a whole bunch of other things, which is why I wasn't posting a lot. But yeah, that is it for my Hazbin Hotel Redesign Season 2 edition. I really do not have a lot of hope for what is going to happen in Season 2, but I'm bored, so I will still watch anyway. And this has been Lazy Duck Productions, aka Jay, and thank you for listening to my voice.